I watch a lot of your content, and I agree with a lot of what you say. But I was listening to you earlier. Actually, I learned a lot about. I made a TikTok when I was watching your invasions and things like this. But I heard you earlier. You were talking about accelerationism with one of the guests, and I thought it was interesting because you said, I think maybe you kind of agree that accelerationism could be logical or could work, but that you think we should do it like slowly.
Well, what are we, first of all, what are we accelerating towards?
So my belief, obviously, I think we all agree kids on puberty blockers is bad. Allowing a bunch of Muslims to immigrate
Yeah,
into
yeah. So
America and
what you're
have their
doing,
own cities
so you
is
want to
bad.
accelerate towards conservative values or right-wing conservative
Well,
values.
yes, but the way that I think it would work like most effectively is to if the right, if the conservatives aren't gonna like pass the policies that we believe they should, then why should we vote for them? Why not accelerate the process by voting in the extreme leftists? They're all absolutely insane. I know it sounds crazy, but when it gets bad enough, they will, I believe they'll come begging for the evil YT Christians, us YT Christian men, to actually come and save them. They'll come begging.
And where are they doing
And
that?
so I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Where are they doing that?
No, I'm saying I think they will.
Yeah, I know, but where are they right now? I mean, things are way worse in other places than here.
Well, can you give me like an example of
Like the
somewhere you're
UK,
speaking
for
about?
instance. I would say like London, for instance. There, you're not going to find the equivalent. Not even
I
Dearborn, Michigan is going to be the equivalent of what you'll find in London.
Yeah, that's true. But I do think I think it's beginning in London. Like you can look at France, for example. They're burning the police cars and things like this on the
Yeah,
street.
the French have done this before. They do this often. And you used to see a lot more of the UK stuff going on with soccer hooligans and riots and stuff like that. Right? It's actually quite tame. Ultimately, it's actually quite tame. Even the Robinson
True.
thing is pretty tame. But the thing is like, when do we get to see the them coming begging thing? Because I would feel like we would be at that. But so from my view, what's the difference between what you're proposing here for accelerationism and just giving up? What's the difference?
Well, the difference is because you're saying, well, why aren't they doing this now?
No,
They
no, no,
haven't
no, no.
taken
Hang on, hang
women's
on, hang
rights
on, hang
away.
on, hang on. I don't, not my position right now, just yours. The specific question is, what is actually the difference between what you just proposed as accelerationism and just giving up?
Yeah, it's not giving up because they will come begging it. To me, it seems trivially obvious to me because like you cited London, for example, or the UK or whatever, they're not taking away women's rights there yet. They're not saying no pride parades in public, no homosexual activity in public, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
use
blah.
to if can you
Once,
use a TikTok friendly? I know
I'm
I
sorry,
want you to
yeah.
convey what you want to say, but just like do me a favor, do me a solid on the live, just
Yes,
because there's
yes, I'm
like
sorry
nothing I
about
can
that.
do about it. But
I'm
anyway, go ahead.
trying. I really am trying.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying. I'm
understand.
trying.
Yeah, so I
Uh,
understand you don't like
but,
any of
but,
these things. I get it, but how is what you're proposing not giving up?
well, because I think that they aren't begging, like I said, begging for the Christians to come and save them in London or these areas because it's not bad enough there yet. So that's why I think once they're saying, well, women that aren't dressed in the whatever the I think it's a burqa or whatever, women that aren't dressed in this, you're fair game. We think you're all degenerate or sexual or degenerate sexual
Hmm.
uh, degenerates
Yeah.
or
So
whatever.
when do you think this will happen? When it's 60% Muslim?
No, hell no. I think the Nazi party in Germany was only 30% of the population.
Yeah. No.
So
No.
I
No. No.
think it
No.
would
No. No.
only
No.
take.
No. Not the opposition to Muslim.
But you
How
said,
many? What's the percentage of Muslims you think would need to be there
yeah, yeah, yeah.
before
I'm catching that.
opposition? Yeah.
I think maybe 10%, 15%, because once
Haven't we
there
already
are
crossed that?
millions,
Haven't we already crossed that Rubicon?
not in America, the
No. 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 In
population
the
of
UK. In the UK.
I don't know if they've passed 15%. I don't think so. They're probably like 5,
Well, I
and
mean,
it's
in
still that
in
bad.
in in major cities, they have, right?
Yeah, so I guess you could look at some cities and the population, but if you're looking at just specific cities, I would say 50%, like in Dearborn or Hamtramck. I think in Hamtramck, Michigan, it's
Well,
40
nothing's
something
happening in
percent.
Dearborn.
Yeah, in Hamtramck, Michigan, they banned the pride flag from public. Do you think that I could do that in North Carolina, in any city, as a Christian, if a bunch of Christians
Nope.
got together?
Nope.
Of course not. And it's because Christianity is viewed as a YT religion, Islam is viewed as non-YT. And
Well,
so
here's the
the
thing. I
left
have no
are,
reason to believe that if leftists feel that the left-wing value structure that they have is under threat from Islam, I think 100% they would stop mass migration from Islamic nations immediately if the percentage was too high. If they felt that the left-wing value structures were under assault. I see no reason to believe that under accelerationism that you wouldn't just end up with a huge amount of mass migration of these nations anyway, end up with this kind of minority group at that point. Why is it that you think that leftists, if they feel like their ideology is under attack, they'll put an end to that, but they'll just keep bringing on immigrants who they can put their ideology on, wouldn't they? Why do we assume that they're going to just stop that?
well, you make a good point. It's definitely a gamble. I think you would have to be very active in how you were managing it as well. You would have to be if you were actually going to implement accelerationism into practice. You'd have to be very active. You'd laser focused on like step by step implementing
Yeah,
it
but
in the way that you want it
that's not
to.
going to happen, man.
Of course. Well, I don't think it could be done. Maybe it couldn't be done in practical reality, but I truly believe if it's bad enough, if these people are realizing, hey, they because right now they're in a delusional belief that, oh, we
Well,
just think that Muslims don't
what
view.
if I offer a different view? Let me try to offer a contrasting view. So what you're saying is like this. This is how I see it. So we're in the trenches. We're all in the trenches together, right? We have all these issues that
Mhm.
we jointly don't like. And the enemy seems to be overwhelming. They're like overwhelming the position. You look at me and you're like, "Hey, Andrew, just let them have it." Right? There's nothing to be gained here. We're just going to get run over, right? And let them have it because after they get it and they have it for long enough, they're going to have to come to what's left of us anyway to help them run the show, right? That's what you're saying. And the gamble there is that after they overrun you and you flee the position, they're not just going to continue to dog you down when they're in the position of the power of the trench to eliminate you forever. The second issue that I have with this is like, well, there's a chance if you stay in the trenches and all of you fight your asses off that you could affect some change here. You could maybe turn the tide of the battle. So to me, it's akin to giving up.
Actually, yeah, I kind of agree with that when you put it like that. I think you're right, actually.
So that's just kind of like my 2 cents on it, man. But look,
Yeah.
I appreciate the
I'll
yeah,
concede. Yeah, I think you're correct. It would be better to go down fighting. I I think you're right.
at least from my view. But anyway, I appreciate it, man.